And welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. Glad to have you here. Today we are going to be making over this giant wooden hot cocoa mug that I had gotten from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to kind of give you some inspiration. I kind of made it my own. So here is that. I'd gotten that another year from Hobby Lobby. So we'll need some Mod Podge, some Gorilla Glue, some glitter, some paint for chocolate, some toothpicks, and I got some puff paint, some white paint, that's air dry foam clay, a rolling pin, some different snowflakes, a paper straw, and a little ball tool, and some different sprinkles and embellishments, some eyes for the gingerbread, which I got off of Amazon, these circle cutters, and a bow silicone mold. And those snowflakes I got from Hobby Lobby during Christmas. And then some chalk and some tweezers. And then I had spray painted the mug, and I got that paint at Walmart. And then we need some DAP, which I get at Home Depot, some air dry foam clay, which is bows that I get off of Amazon. That is from Manira off of Facebook. And some different colors for the gingerbread. So here I had made this rolled out a snake of air dry foam clay in red, and I had messed up and put it on the wrong end, so I had to tear it off for the mug. So I'm just applying some Gorilla Glue, and I'm going to end up applying a little bit of hot glue to keep it immediate hold, because Gorilla Glue takes a little bit of time, so you can't really continue your project. And so that's why I add a little bit of hot glue, just to hold it steady while we continue. So I'm just kind of making a lip and an edge with the air dry foam clay, so that way we can put some faux hot chocolate inside of it to make it look realistic, like a hot cocoa mug. Now today in this video, I'm not going to go and show you the whole project in completion, because the different steps I let it dry in between, but I'm going to do part of it so I can kind of give you the idea, and then I'll show you the completed project so you could see it more clearly. So here I just ran a little bit short, and I just filled it in on the other side. So now I'm going to get here's little snowflakes that you can randomly put on. I painted them in white paint, and then I glittered them so they have some sparkle to them. So just position them randomly out on your mug, however you like them, with how many you want. And then I decided you could also add in some little snowflake sprinkles too, just to fill it in. But here in my container, I'm doing Mod Podge, paint, and lightweight spackling to make the faux hot cocoa to go in where we put the lip of the air dry foam clay in red. So just kind of trying to make it the color that I want, keep adding a little bit more paint, and then to make it a little thicker, I'm adding a little bit more spackling. And then I'm just dumping it in and spreading it out. So again, when you do the air dry foam clay in the red, how I made the lip going around it, what I would do is attach it, and then while it's wet with some glue, and then I would let it dry for 24 hours before doing this step. And now I'm taking some air dry foam clay, and I'm rolling out marshmallows to go into our fake hot cocoa. And just making them random sizes. Then I'm taking the paper straw and cutting it down to the size that I would like. And then I'm going to stick that down into the wet mixture of the hot cocoa. But first I want to put a little marshmallow there so it has something to lean against, otherwise it will just fall over. And I'm going to add just a tiny drop of glue to help it stick to the marshmallow so it stays in spot until everything dries completely. And then just scatter different sized marshmallows around the hot cocoa. And then after I do this part, Again, here's another part where I would wait till it dries for 24 hours. So after you do your hot cocoa mix, you put your straw in, you make your marshmallows. I would let that sit and dry before continuing on in the mug. But for the sake of the video, I continued, but I didn't complete it, and I'll tell you why when we get there. So I'm just making different size, and then I'm taking these little peppermints and some glitter, and I'm just putting it into the hot cocoa mixture. Because it's a peppermint hot cocoa that I'm making. And then for the snowflakes to glue to the wood, you can again use just a teeny bit of hot glue for immediate hole and the rest with Gorilla Glue. And so here's the part where I'm taking this chocolate drip and just going to go around the whole mug. I'm just doing a little bit here because as you see, I had an air bubble and part of the dark chocolate went into the hot cocoa mixture. So that's why I usually wait until the hot cocoa dries. Because if that happens, I can wipe it out, but now it's kind of stuck there. So that's why I only do a little part of this, but the same idea, just go around the red air dry foam clay and then just go down below it to give it the drip effect. And then I'm adding white sprinkles and peppermint candies to it to go all around. And you'll do that around the whole top of the mug. And you'll see that in a minute. And I put a little bit of chocolate on top of the straw and on some of the marshmallows. And here's where I'm putting those sprinkle snowflakes in there just to add a little bit more. Your choice of how you want that to look. But here's another one that well, first let's go over, let's go over the gingerbread head. So I'm taking the air dry foam clay and I'm conditioning it really well. And then I'm rolling it in a ball to try to smooth it out and get rid of all those cracks. Keep doing that and rolling along your surface just to try to smooth it out. Then I'm going to take a rolling pin and a circle, however big you want the head to be on top of your mug. And then if you see here the thickness, I left it kind of thick. And then I'm taking these resin eyes and I'm just going to position those, and then I'm going to gently press down so that way it kind of sinks into the clay. And then make a ball for the nose and use this ball tool for the mouth and do it a little bit deep so that way, because when it dries it shrinks. And then I'm taking toothpicks to make the eyelashes. And now we're going to make the icing by rolling a snake and then attaching it to the top of the head. But again, remember to do the eyelashes and the mouth a little bit thicker because as it dries it shrinks and it can go away. So just be mindful of that. And then I'm going to roll out 2 balls around the equal size to make the arms for the gingerbread. And I don't have a certain size. I just kind of look at it and size it up to make sure it looks okay with the size of head. So just eyeball that. And then you're going to take the clay and then you're going to attach it to the back of the head. And here again, I cannot attach it to the mug until it dries because if it gets on her face and then it ruins her, it's just a disaster. So I kind of break this up and do it in steps when I'm doing it, but I couldn't do that for the video, so I apologize. I hope you understand what I'm trying to explain. So there, you put that to the top, and see here, I use some, Gorilla Glue and hot glue to get the head on. And then I just did a chalk marker to go in white around the whole mug. So here now I am doing this part of the video as a request from someone to know how to do the inside of a hot cocoa actual mug. So again, I'm just doing spackling and paint, and then you're going to spread the mixture inside this cup and let it dry for 24 hours before you do the top of a hot cocoa mug. Again, and if you have cracks that form overnight, then again, just fill in the cracks and hold it up to the light to make sure they're all filled in. And then again, let it dry for another 24 hours. And then you can proceed to do the topping of the hot cocoa, which I do have videos on how to do that. I just failed to do this part, so I'm just showing that now because someone asked me. So sorry about that. I hope this helps and it's not too confusing. If you have any questions or don't understand something or need help with something, feel free to leave me a comment and reach out. I would love to help in any way I could. Thanks so much for watching this video and taking time. I hope I have inspired you. And please like, share, and subscribe this video. And I hope you will come back and see what we're going to create next. I have some fun things in store. So thanks again so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.